Luka dominates again, and the Lakers get arguably their most critical win of the season. Things are looking good. That's next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in to Locked On Lakers. I'm Brian Kamenetsky with Andy Kamenetsky. So much to get into in this episode today. Do need to let people know first that today's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla-y cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com. or at Amazon. 124, 116. The Lakers, Andy, they finish off the sweep of this weird 2-game series in Houston.
I actually love it. I wish there were more setups like this where NBA teams would play each other in consecutive games. That adds a little spice. It provides more information in terms of analyzing where your team stands, matchups, stuff like that. I would love to see more of it. It also could help to some degree with travel issues and things like that.
So a great 2-game stretch here for the Lakers, who continue to play excellent basketball. We'll break down everything, including not just a turn back the clock night for LeBron, but we've been talking a lot, Andy, about the way that the Lakers, okay, not that far. The Lakers have been using LeBron and helping him thrive in the new this new way of executing the offense. Wednesday's game was that on steroids, to say the least. So we'll talk about him. We'll talk about DeAndre Ayton. We'll talk about a Lakers defense that continues to come up, especially late in games. But we are going to start, Andy, with Luka Doncic, who was, dare I say, toying with the Houston Rockets, especially in the fourth quarter of this game. Luka finishes with 40 points on 12 of 25 shooting, 7 of 17 from three-point range, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. I think about the only mean thing you could say about the guy is he missed too many free throws, I guess.
He had 5 turnovers. That's too many. A couple of them were just bad decisions, but my word, down the stretch of this game, Luka was just making killer backbreaking play after killer backbreaking play against Houston, just demoralizing every bit of spirit that they would possibly have to think that they could keep exchanging blows with the Lakers. Like, this was a game the Lakers were up 11 at the half. They were pretty bad in the third quarter. I mean, they were just sloppy on both sides of the ball. They turned the ball over, I believe, 7 times in the third quarter alone, which Houston turned into 13 points off those turnovers. I thought the shot selection...
Not to interrupt you, but just so people, for context, the Lakers only had 13 turnovers in the game.
Yeah. And I thought they gave up 26 points off turnovers. Half came in that quarter. I thought the shot selection by more or less everybody devolved, and it put them often on their heels defensively and in bad positions. But they, as we've seen a lot during this now 7-game winning streak that the Lakers are on right now, and they are playing some of the best basketball in the league. One of the commonalities, and I think this matters a lot, particularly when you start thinking about the playoffs, they keep maintaining their composure. Like, even when they start making mistakes, even when things start breaking down, they're not losing their heads. And I think, I brought this up in the last game against Houston where, those guys just went on tilt. But I thought the Rockets spent a lot of the first half, and then certainly the last few minutes of that game, losing some of their cool. The last minute or so, I don't know what their strategy was with fouling, but I would check out the film again because they wasted a lot of time.
I think you're better off actually saying that there was no strategy.
Yeah. The Lakers were the more composed team.
They were, absolutely. They were more composed. And the thing about it too is like, the same thing happened on Monday. Like, you have a lead, you give up a lead and all that kind of stuff. But like, these are good teams the Lakers are playing. Like, you're almost never going to lead wire to wire against really good teams. And it's the value of part of the value of having the big three now playing well. So you're winning those minutes more often than losing them, and often winning them big, is that, you're getting off to good starts. You're building up early leads, the second half leads, halftime leads, whatever. Inevitably, good opposition is going to go on a 15-2 run, a 14-6 run, whatever it might be. But the thing about it is, if you're up by 12, if you're up by 8, if you're up by whatever, and you give up a 10-point run, you're still in the game. You might be losing, but you're still in the game. So like the Lakers, they fell down by, I think, as much as 5, but on Wednesday, I think. I'd have to look at it. But like, they never lost touch with Houston, in part because they're now winning these early minutes. They did it. We'll get deeper into LeBron as the show goes on. But, particularly early in the game, they were really aggressive defensively. They forced a lot of bad shots and turnovers. They got out in the open floor. LeBron, who hit a couple early threes, then was just a dunk fest for LeBron for the rest of the game. Luka, strong start for Luka. Like, everything, they had this hop and rhythm, and you could tell the Lakers knew, like, not only is this an important game for us, it's an important game that we know we can win.
Yeah, they recognize the importance of it. The tiebreaker now in hand. The Lakers now have the tiebreaker for every opponent.
Everyone.
3 through 6. They've got it now over the Rockets. They've got it over the Nuggets. They've got it over the Timberwolves. They don't have it over the Suns, but if they win these games, it doesn't matter. And they're not going to catch San Antonio at 2 in all likelihood, not unless San Antonio stops winning. So
they'd basically have to win out, and San Antonio would have to lose out. Right. The Lakers have gone 9-1 in their last 10 games. This is how good the top of the conference is. The Lakers have gone 9-1 in their last 10 games. They've gained all of one game on San Antonio and have actually lost ground to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean,
who have won all 10 of those games. But like, you look at the standings now, Andy, and the Lakers have a 1.5 game lead over Minnesota, which is essentially 2.5 games. They have a 2.5 game lead over Houston, which is essentially 3.5, and 2.5 over Denver, which again is essentially 3.5. So they've got a little bit of padding, which is going to be important for games like, Thursday in Miami, where the Lakers are going to land at like 5 a.m, and you might want to sit some folks.
Well, I was going to say, like, I think they recognized the importance of this game because of the tiebreaker implications, the direct seeding in the West, all of that stuff. But they may have also recognized, man, we are going to land in Miami, like basically when the sun is coming up. Second end of a back-to-back.
Clubs will still be open.
That's true. They can just go straight to, what is it, 305 or that one.
Right, it's like with jet lag. You're supposed to stay
it's
up,
called
right?
Live, Liv, which now in golf has taken on a totally different name, but it was Club Live. That it was notorious. That's where every athlete, every NBA player used, all the beautiful people used to go to in South Bay. I guess they could just stroll straight over, but like, they may recognize that game is gonna be rough. Miami is playing better of late, and also they really need this game too. This is going to be a tall order. Let's make sure we bank this one that matters most. And holy hell, did Luka down the stretch make sure we are not effing losing this game, man.
He went into God mode where, like, I mean, the plays that are going to be, look, he was on it all game.
The courtside seats, the courtside fans in Houston, they know what Luka's breath smells like because he was talking so much. It was incredible theater.
It was fantastic. But like, the sequence, the stuff that'll get everybody's we'll see it. But like those last 3.5 minutes, when he splits a double going behind the back, throws an oop to Rui. He splits another double, throws another oop to LeBron. He hits a three. It's just, I want to talk after the break just about why, like, what about Luka sets him apart. Before we'll get into LeBron, we'll get into 8, and we'll get into all this stuff.
Yeah,
But
DA had a really good game.
He did, and I was excited because he had a good game in a way that reflected some of the stuff that I was talking about going into it. I was very rarely right. I like it, and
actually, some of the stuff I thought as well, and we were both kind of right for different reasons.
Fist bump, so blow it up, snail. So
No.
but like, I love snail. So let's get to Luka next because it's just spectacular.
Locked On Lakers is brought to you by Wayfair. Spring is the perfect time to refresh your space and make your home better for you, whether it's updating a room, adding some outdoor furniture, or finally organizing that cluttered corner. It's a great chance to bring a fresh look into your home, and that's where Wayfair comes in. From furniture and decor to organized solutions, outdoor essentials, Wayfair makes it easy to find pieces that match your style and your budget. And what I love about shopping on Wayfair is the process is simple. You can filter by style, size, price, options like easy assembly or installation. Makes the whole experience smooth from order to setup, whether it's a new desk for a new home or some storage solutions, outdoor pieces for spring. It's easy to find something that fits both your style and your daily routine. Find furniture, decor, and essentials that fit your unique style and budget. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Jump back into things here in a second. Do want to let people know about the Everydayer Club. If you join it now with the code MARCH, you get your first month free. And if you sign up before the tournament tips off, which is early Thursday, so you got to get this done quickly. You can early West Coast time Thursday. You can compete against me and Andy in our men's and women's bracket pools on Discord. Of course, Discord chats are a big feature of the Everydayer Club. You're talking to us, talking to each other, talking to other Locked On hosts. The winner, if you are a winner, you get a $100 Locked On merch gift card. And the rest of us can just, chat about how our brackets suck and got blown up. You also get ad-free versions of the show. Again, all free for the month with the code MARCH, $5 a month, $50 a year. Broadly speaking, if it's not for you, do nothing. We will love you just the same. What I find amazing about Luka, Andy, is just the Lakers made KD's life hard. Like, they got him sped up a little bit. They forced him into some uncomfortable moments. This is Kevin freaking Durant, who was significantly better in this game than he was on Monday, no question. But
better in the second half. First half, not so
great,
good,
but better overall. Overall, played better, made more shots, got a little, eventually it's going to come around for him. But they're just, right now, if you put bodies in front of LeBron, it's difficult for him to put the ball on the floor and get by people, whatever it might be. There's just nothing you can do as a defense. You throw a blitz at Luka, he's going to find the open guy calmly, almost, daring you to come out and make your defense imbalanced like that. Or he's going to go behind his back and split the double. And all these, you just can't speed him up.
There was a sequence in the first quarter, one of many, where Durant, the Lakers were doubling him. And this one in particular, Smart was the initial defender on KD. And Luka just started approaching him for the double. And you could see that spooked Durant. That actually got him a bit on tilt, because this was his nightmare on Monday in Houston. And there were already a few sequences like this. That distraction allowed Marcus Smart to get a strip steal, which set up a three for Luka. But then in the second quarter, Luka was doubled high on a sequence and just very calmly threw this pass basically behind him to DeAndre Ayton, who ends up getting an open lane to the rim. And like, obviously, it is not fair to expect like Luka Doncic-esque level playmaking from Kevin Durant. Like, that's not the player that he is. But the difference in these teams' respective ability or inability to handle this sort of stuff, because you go beyond Luka, like LeBron knows how to do this stuff. So you've got two guys who really at a high level just know how to read doubles. They know how to time this. They know how to sense, okay, the second guy's coming over now. I already know where I'm going to be throwing if this defender comes. Like, they're to have two guys who can read the floor that well. I realize now we're talking more about LeBron having a lower usage role, so more of this is going to happen with Luka. But like, make no mistake, LeBron can do it too, and that's just, it's a major advantage.
And and then I also think too, you're forgetting, AR is extremely slippery in those situations, and he changes speeds well. His handle is, I think, still surprises people, and he had 8 assists. I mean, it was not a big scoring night for Reeves, in part because the Lakers kept getting LeBron loose, and that was working really well. But AR had 8 assists against 1 turnover. Again, strong defensively, made 5 of his 6 free throws. Like, it was a good game. Austin played well. He just didn't, score a ton. I thought, at least, but like, that's a third guy. You have the ball in the hands of 2 players who are very, crafty, in obviously Luka and then Austin, and then, your third one. And now you have to watch him. We might as well, let's get into this LeBron conversation. Like, we have talked about this week how the Lakers have changed this pecking order, so to speak, so that most of the time the ball is going to be in the hands of Luka, and if not Luka, AR. LeBron is at the finishing end of a lot of these things. He is cutting. He's running the floor. He's filling the lanes and all this stuff. And it seems counterintuitive to people if you're kind of just sort of thinking about it. Oh, he's 41. The easiest thing for LeBron to do is run. Mm-hmm. Like, he can do that all day, up and down the floor with nobody. Nobody's getting in front of that. So,
well, man, one of the dunks that he had in transition, you could see the thought bubble of Reed Shepherd in real time, going from, I'm going to challenge LeBron to F that. I am not happening.
Not doing that. And so, the Lakers, who the hit ahead passes on Wednesday, particularly, near the end of the second quarter, the Lakers looked like they might be giving up the lead. Like 3 or 4 plays in a row where they basically, like, the Rockets just like refused to accept what the Lakers were doing. But it was, whether it was Luka flinging the ball up or Reeves, I think, had one, and LeBron had one. Like, they're very aggressive with that, but they turned defense into offense with LeBron finishing. They used LeBron at the end of an alley-oop. If you go look at his shot chart in this game, he finished 13 of 14 for 30 points. I think 3 of those field goal attempts were outside like a foot. Yes. Everything else was at the rim. Everything else was dunks. He hit his first 2 threes. He had a little baby jumper, that was off of penetration against a moving defense. And everything else was a dunk. Like, yeah.
I mean, at the rate things are progressing, LeBron's going to take JJ aside for a meeting, be like, any chance you can reduce me down to 4th or 5th in usage? Like, I think Marcus needs the ball more. Like, Marcus really, because like LeBron, this is easier on him from a pure exertion level. Like, it just is. You are correct. If LeBron is largely being asked to get his baskets set up for him with a head of steam, he can do that all day. But like, it's less exertion. He is still putting up good numbers, and he seems like he's having a blast. So, like, honestly,
well, dunking is fun. Like, it's fun.
Dunking is fun. Getting fed on the run is fun. Not having to bring the ball up all the time. Not having to organize everything. Like, again, like, some of this is preservation. Like, at this stage of his career, it is too much for LeBron to do that past a certain point in a 30 to 35 minute role a night. Like, it just is. But
Yeah,
that's not the same thing as saying LeBron is washed or LeBron can't contribute. Just the problem for a while was they were trying to basically not just like cram a square peg into a round hole. It was like the three same square pegs into one round hole. Like it was too redundant. There was not enough skill variance. Like LeBron is in a lot of ways offering a different skill set now in the way that he's playing, and it just balances things out.
It's a different skill set that the team didn't really have either. It's like, who else was doing this sort of thing? And like, now you have a guy who not only can move, this was sort of like I said in the first segment, like
the extreme version,
the version of this on steroids. It's not going to get 10 dunks a game, but he's going to be in a position, particularly if the Lakers are able to continue this defensive pressure, to get a bunch of them. And he's going to be moving off the ball. And the more that teams really recalibrate to this, the more they're going to have to start watching LeBron, the way, like, where's he going? What's he doing? Keep an eye on him. And the more you're looking at LeBron when he doesn't have the ball, the less attention you can give to AR or to Luka when they do. And it's just, there is something cooking here. And you're right. It's easier for LeBron. The results are still there. And it's phenomenal for the Lakers. We got to talk about DeAndre Ayton as well, and then the defense on, again, a just fantastic night for the Lakers. They continue to solidify playoff position, build some confidence, and perhaps change the narrative about what people think about them. Do it next.
Locked On Lakers is brought to you by ZocDoc. Finding a doctor you actually can feel like finding a doctor you actually like can feel like discovering a diamond in the rough. You want someone in network that's nearby with availability, but you also want a doctor that really listens. That can be rare. Makes you feel comfortable, explain things clearly, helps you walk out feeling confident about the next steps. Your diamond in the rough doctor exists. Finding them is easy with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and a website that helps you find and book high quality in-network doctors, so you can choose someone you finally connect with. And I love that you can search for specialties or symptoms and quickly find the right fit. Being able to choose in-person or video visits makes scheduling way easier. Appointments usually happen within 24 to 72 hours. They can sometimes have same-day openings. Stop putting off those doctor visits. Go to ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA, ZocDoc/LockedOnNBA. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this message.
Locked On Lakers is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Welcome to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft with with 18 flavors to choose from, including new options like confetti, craze, fruity rainbow, or cotton candy. There's something for everyone. Andy, the board is set. The flavors are ready. You want to know what my number one pick is for the 5 Hour Energy Draft? It's sour apple. It's the apple that bites back. It's a crisp, tangy flavor. It's tart. It's a little sweet. It's a lot sour, and it's bold. You know who else is bold? He's got 2 thumbs in his bold. This guy. So you with each of these flavors, though, 18. If sour apple's not your one, maybe you're a fruity rainbow guy. Maybe you prefer cherry. Maybe you prefer the Concord grape flavor of grape with its smooth, rounded sweetness. Whatever your bag is when it comes to 5 Hour Energy, there is a flavor for you. Gives you that boost with 0 sugar. And they've got more flavor innovations planned. So if there's one that you want to see, write them a letter. Maybe they'll come through for you. Get your new favorite flavor of 5 Hour Energy shots available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. It is so much fun to watch the way this team is playing right now. And it is such a 180 from where we were, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, where it felt like, hey, Lakers play tonight is a threat, not something to get you excited or interested. It is way more fun this way, Andy.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, like I said, the fun that I was describing that LeBron is seemingly having in this different role, there's just a fun contagion that's spreading through this team. Like there seems to be a
A
real
funtagion even.
yes, a funtagion. Like there seems to be a work hard, play hard thing going on because like they are having a lot of fun, but they are also working really hard. And I realize the more you win, the more the work feels less like work. You know, like it doesn't seem as taxing when you're getting the fruits of your labor and you're getting the enjoyment of your labor. But like at this, it's just been really enjoyable. Like I everybody is buying in. Like we've talked about this a few times. Everybody is buying into their roles. I know we plan to talk about Ayton. There's a really good piece that a friend of the show, Dan Wojcicki, wrote for The Athletic profiling Ayton, where he talked about just look, I started out the year really well, but then there was a period where I was not matching the team's energy, and I did not want to be that guy anymore. Like I didn't. I'm done being that dude. I am going to go out there. I'm not going to worry about points, you know, even though obviously they need him to score a certain amount. They become better when he scores. But he's like, I'm going to focus my energy on everything else. And like, I think when you see everybody else doing this stuff, it's like a good form of peer pressure. You don't want to be you don't want to be the one that stands out for all the wrong reasons.
Ayton had 16 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds. He had 3 blocks in terms of rim protection. So that was his, a big contribution defensively. Again, moved well in space, put out the effort defensively and all that stuff. But, his 16 points in the 8 of 10 shooting, that was a good counterbalance to Alperen Şengün. Now, did he outscore Şengün? No. Şengün's an all-star. He is a focal point of the Houston offense. But if he helped counteract that, 16 points of his own and made Şengün work defensively. I think it was easier for him to operate offensively against Şengün than it was against a highly motivated Clint Capella, and that shook him loose a little bit. A little tougher to rebound, a little easier to score, but the activity was there from DA, the engagement and all that stuff. And 8 of 10 shooting, you're going to win a lot of games when you get 8 of 10 shooting from your starting center and 13 of 14 from your starting power forward. That's some pretty good efficiency.
Yeah. Ayton was very good in this game. I do think, as I thought would be the case heading into this game, it would be more of a defensive struggle, maybe overstating it, but challenge with a guy like Şengün as opposed to Capella. But he held up his end of the bargain in production. He was definitely active, and again, it's an extension of what he's been talking about. It's also too the first time in a few games where Ayton, his presence was felt in tangible ways earlier in a game, as opposed to seemingly saving it all for the end. And look, the way he played in overtime against Denver, the way he played down the stretch against Houston, massive. I'm not trying to detract from it at all, but the point is, he spent most of those games not particularly impactful and then came up huge. This was a game where he started out much more seemingly in rhythm and much more productive. And that what you do in the beginning of a game matters just as much as what you do at the end. They're all part of the same 48-minute ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I mean, the Lakers there's still some things that you want to see get better. You want to see a little more production from Rui, broadly speaking. Luke Kennard did hit a 3 in this game, but turned the ball over 3 times. So not his best minutes. Missed I realize everybody misses, but I mean, a wide open 3 that you just expect him to be able to make. Jake LaRavia, 5 points in 10 minutes, but like it was sort of short contributions from the bench. But the flip side is these have been kind of little issues that have been popping up over the length of this streak, and they keep winning. And so, they are doing it. They seem to have figured out.
They outscored Houston's bench.
That's true.
They actually.
No, you're right.
Houston's bench scored 17 combined. The Lakers bench had 19. I mean, it's not a lot, but
it's 2 more.
They won the battle.
19's more, and but so they've figured out a style of play that has turned the big three from a net negative playing together to a very much so a net positive playing together. They've figured out how how to organize their defense in ways. They've got Luka, who I think in sort of Luka defenders, there's been a lot of numbers flying around, basketball Twitter, basketball Reddit, things like that, about just how well Luka is playing defensively and his defensive numbers. They are quite good. It's not even like good enough or passable, like just legitimately caveat free.
We've been saying this
qualifier free, good
3 to 4 weeks. His defense has been much better. That doesn't mean everyone was wrong when they were talking about the first few months or Luka overarching. Like we've both said that we think his defensive reputation is worse than it actually is on the court, but it is not always a strong suit either. But last 3 to 4 weeks, his defense has actually been really good.
Absolutely. And the effort and the energy have been there. And as we have pointed out and will continue to point out, he has to get back on defense now because he's not allowed to stay at the other end and complain. So it really does make a huge difference. And I think we should change the rules so teams, if they choose, can give their own players technical fouls at the beginning of every year, just to avoid potentially some of these other things. But, he is, for all the stuff that we talk about in this game, like, is just a vehicle for truly understanding and appreciating just how good Luka is and what it means from a differentiation standpoint to have one of those dudes on your team. And, Oklahoma City's obviously got one in Shea, and, the Spurs have, Wemby, and then like 9 other people. Like that team is frightening at how fast they've come together. Steph Castle is crazy good.
Really good.
Minnesota has Ant. Denver has Jokic. I would argue Houston doesn't really have one of those guys anymore.
Detroit has Cade.
But like the Lakers have Luka, and you walk into a series with a swagger when you have one of those guys, and when when you also know that you have LeBron still there, and you have Austin Reeves, and all these, like, all of a sudden the Lakers have a lot of earned confidence, particularly after this run where they've beaten Houston twice, Denver, Minnesota, the Knicks. Forgetting something, I think. But
real quick, because I've seen a few questions about this in the chat regarding it being a back-to-back, who is not available tomorrow. To the best of my knowledge thus far, nothing has been clarified one way or the other. I know there was concerns with LeBron, that hard fall on his elbow, which I will say, unlike, was it like a month ago when LeBron hurt his elbow, came back into the game for like 3 or 4 possessions, was dead armed. Like, he, other than making a couple passes, his arm was just dangling like his shoulder was separated because clearly it was hurting him. I said
which
at
it
the time,
wasn't.
Right. I said at the time, I thought JJ made a mistake putting him back in. This looked different. Like, LeBron did not look dead armed at all.
It looked funny bone. Just looked like a standard funny bone.
He looked much better. But I have no idea what the protocol is thus far in terms of second end of a back-to-back. But I really do think, and I think you agree, they went into this game saying, we have to win this one because Miami's going to be a crapshoot on a lot of
right. It was in this game, and the Miami game is important because all games are important. We're reaching a stretch run. They, just over 10 games. It's like all that kind of stuff. Every game is amplified, but the stakes of this one, where essentially was they call these 2-game swing games, against your conference opponents, really was a 3-game swing because of the tiebreaker aspect of this.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the value of this game Wednesday was so much higher than what Thursday's game will be in Miami. I would be surprised if LeBron played, but not shocked.
Well, according
because
to
it's Miami
in the chat, according to Laker 0824, LeBron said he's playing tomorrow night. So
I will. If it, like I said, it's Miami. If they were on their way to New Orleans, I think it might be a different conversation. I would expect LeBron potentially to take a game off at some point in the next 2 or 3. But
Indiana feels prime.
Indiana, I could see if he plays Thursday, I could see Saturday in Orlando being something. I think he'll want to play against Detroit. But I could see a day off coming there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see.
But look, if you got to sit a few guys on Thursday, okay, like what winning streaks give you the space to do, and have one of those games to see if the bench can step up. Great day for Lakers. The Lakers, a really fun time for Lakers fans. Locked On Lakers on YouTube, so we can hang out with over 37,000 subscribers. Help us get to 38. We're getting real close. We'll see everyone in the afternoon on Thursday, and then obviously after the game.